Hello, everyone. Welcome to New York, PMC New York. Here we have session number 9. Uh, our young master, Ajay Babu, is here. Um, let's get started. Hi, Ajay. Please take over.
My problem is if anyone asks the questions, I don't know.
Okay, okay. Now, tell us,
Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
about
Mm.
epigenetics. What he says,
Definitely.
like what Ramtha says.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I'll start that. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Masters. So, first of all, I would like to say gratitude to Brahmashi Dhyana Pitama Subhash Patriji for introducing Anapanasati to me and vegetarian to me. And I would like to say gratitude to Master Teacher Ramtha for teaching this ancient wisdom. Thank you all. Thank you so much. So today I would like to talk about epigenetics. So I know we have genetics and genes, everything we know, but I think recently, I think 10 years, sir. I think he did research, Bruce H. Lipton. He is doing research, I think, since 40 years, 30 years, but the publication came, I think, mostly 5 years, 10 years back. I think that word is more booming in internet called epigenetics. So I think we had a pre-assumption that prejudice that we cannot change our DNA, right? So that's a thing we are listening from so many years. But the doctor came and research and saying that if you change the perception, you can change your DNA. That nothing but epi means environment. So genetics means genes. So the environment, if you can change it, right? What is the environment? The way you think, the way you feel, right? The way you respond. So if you can change that, automatically the DNA change because DNA is a part of your body and you are beyond your body. That is called consciousness. When you change when you change your consciousness, how you change your consciousness? The way you think, right? Consciousness is pure. How to utilize that based on your intelligence, based on your thought process, right? So when you change your thought process or perception, automatically the DNA will change. That's what his summary of his epigenetics, right? Today we'll see how exactly our DNA is working today, so that we'll get to know each and every how important each and everything, especially the morning when you wake up. Why should you do? Why should you create your day? Or why should you start your day before whole wake up, right? So I think I will show you small video. I think the video. I think everyone knows. Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone knows, right? So I will show you one video. I think the mind will be shocked. Why he's so successful? I think 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I'll show one video. So that we'll start by showing his video.
Any idea how long it would take to change the DNA? Like,
Yeah, I think, yeah, I'll tell that. I'll tell that. Yeah. One minute.
no problem.
So that we'll get some confidence.
And sometimes it's my subconscious that do it by itself. Yeah. Sometimes I do it to visualize. When you do meditation before a game, do you visualize the game at all? Visualize moments in the game? Yeah. When you do meditate, when you do
I'm sharing my screen. I think it's not exact video, but at least he's talking about that. But I'll share that. I mean, at least if I after the class. So
meditation before a game, do you visualize the game at all? Visualize moments in the game? Yeah, sometimes I do it to visualize a few points that can happen in a game. I like to do it, and sometimes it's my subconscious that do it by himself. Yeah. So, but it's nice. You visualize a few things, not even during the game, but during the period that you go to the stadium to warm up, before the game, during the game. And it's fun. It's fun, to be honest, and I like to do it. It's amazing how they can come true. What you see can come true, right? Many things. Even sometimes I speak with my friends and I tell them, I say, listen, today in the game we're gonna have a penalty. I felt the day of the game that they're gonna give a penalty and something will happen in the game. I felt. When you do meditation before a game, sometimes when you game.
So you just mentioned that you want to learn Python. So do not.
When this boy's
And sometimes it's my subconscious that do it by.
I think you can find that videos in that. So I think I'll show one more video. He's called Bruce H. Lipton. So I think he talks about epigenetics. I think since 40 years he's talking about epigenetics. I told you right what is epigenetics? The environment which you influence in the DNA, nothing but give me 1 minute. So I think yeah. So before playing that, I'll share one more thing. So images, so that you can clearly understand what exactly DNA and where does it and what it contains. And we talks about daily protein. What exactly protein? What is it? So I'll just yeah get the comes picture. Yes, yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Before that, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Actually, I want to make slides, but I didn't. I will do that. Yeah. I think yeah, I think that day last week we saw CSF, right? So fine. So I want to talk about central nervous system, right? So like we have blood vessels. Similarly, we have nervous systems, right? Nervous systems where the signal will go through to your entire body from brain or and from body to your brain. So two-way communication, right? So I think broadly we can. Divide nervous system into two types. What is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system? So the central nervous system under central nervous system the two parts come. One is brain and spinal cord, right? This is comes under central nervous system because this is a main core thing, right? So the day I show you CSF, it is a part of central nervous system, right? We have peripheral nervous system. In that we have two types. One is sensory and one is motor nervous system. And motor nothing but in Telugu we can call it as a karmendriyalu, or in sensory system Telugu we call it as a gnanendriyalu, or Sanskrit padam is right, gnanendriyalu. So this sensory motor nervous system we have two types. What is somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nothing but it is automatically it does. Right? Nothing but your breath, your heartbeat, your body temperature, it is part of autonomic nervous system, right? So in motor nervous system you can move your hand and legs and eyelids and ears, something like that, right? So the which we think consciously control, that is comes under somatic nervous system, and which is automatically without our intervention the something does in our body like heartbeat and breath. So there comes an autonomic nervous system. That's why today I want to talk about this central nervous system, right? In central nervous system, basically the signal goes to anyway. That's fine. But in central nervous system, we have this spinal fluid, CSF, cerebral and spinal fluid. Until last week, we saw that. So which is part of central nervous system, right? So don't remember the exact name, just understand why I'm telling. That's it. We should know actually our body, right? So we know Python, we know Java, we know Instagram, we know AI, but we don't know about our body. The first thing we should know is our body because that's the engine, that's a vehicle to us. For spirit, body is the vehicle. So today I want to talk about DNA. So I think DNA full form. I think what is the DNA full form? Anyone knows? If anyone knows what is the full form of DNA? DXC. Yeah, DXC ribonucleic acid. Yes. So for the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, right? So take any cell. For example, our body is made up of its cells, right? Cell. Okay. Imagine cell, one cell. Cell, it can run independently, like how, for example, in our entire country, our state is independently run, right? Similarly, cell also can independently run, but taking the signals from central nervous system or from environment, it will take signal and it can run it independently, right? So we have billion cells we have, and each cell contain nucleus. This entire cell, right? The entire cell contain nucleus. That nucleus has DNA, right? So, and we have ribosomes. The ribosome is a factory where we can create proteins. I'll tell exactly what exactly protein. I think before going to that, I'll show you. Yeah, I will show you this. This is nothing but cell. Cell contain nucleus. The nucleus contain chromosomes. I think we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each chromosome contain DNA strand. That DNA strand contain genes. Right? This is called the term called genes. that genes, in between genes you have strands, right? These strands these blocks called nucleates. I think ACTH, I think the four combination we have, right? So forget about that. So this based on this combination we are doing different tasks. Different glands are releasing, different emotions are revealing, different perceptions are, we have billion perceptions, billion way of thinking we have because of the DNA strands, right? We have I think I think more than billion different possible combinations we have, because that DNA remembers, this is a memory, it remembers our forefather, right? The first incarnation of humankind, this has this information. The DNA has that information, right? So we'll see what exactly in cell, what exactly nucleus, right? So the nucleus we have a called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and this contains all our information, how we store our in computer and hard disk, how we store our information, right? Similarly, DNA has all that information, and we have extra thing called ribosomes. I think I show you this here. Yes, if you see, this is called ribosome, right? So ribosome is the factory within the cell. This is a factory which create proteins. I think I will talk about what exactly I told you DNA, right? So DNA contains these things called proteins. Proteins contain peptides. Peptides contains amino acids. So yes, yes. If you see DNA, right? The DNA copied by RNA. I'll tell that what exactly RNA, but RNA will copy exactly DNA. For example, in system you have soft copy. When you print the soft copy, you will get in hard. You'll get in that soft copy in paper, right? Remember that as mRNA. A copy of DNA called mRNA. So that is this, and we have ribosomes here, right? So ribosomes is a factory where you can synthesize using this copy, using this structure, you can synthesize the proteins. For example, I want to release hanger hormone. For example, in adrenal gland, you release this anger hormone, ACTH, something like that. So, or anxiety, or dopamine hormones. For example, you release that hormone in your brain, but the cell needs to understand that, right? So how that cell needs to understand, it will split that information and it will find in hormones, it contains proteins. The protein contain peptides. The peptides is this chain. The peptides contain amino acids. Basically, amino acid is the attitude, or you can call it that a protein is your attitude. Or particular hormones contain different proteins. Each protein represents your attitude, the way you think, right? Now I'll come back. What is the structure? So, for example, daily you do. For example, what today you wake up. Once you wake up, so for example, you saw one lizard, right? For example, you feel like some snake before you wake up your bed, right? So you feel like that. Suddenly you will feel shock, right? So suddenly that information goes from your brain to your entire body, and your body will react. How does that body reacting? You're sending signal from your brain to body using that nervous system, either central nervous system or peripheral nervous systems. So once that signal goes to your body go from your body through your blood, it goes to the signal goes to here. In that signal, it will take, we have receptors here outside of cell, we have receptor has a key, right? A particular key only the particular cell react. For example, when you are anger, I think your thyroid doesn't react much, maybe your liver will react much, right? Our kidneys will react much because the kidneys has adrenal hormone. The key will open that particular organ only, right? So similarly, we have receptors here. Every cell has a receptors that nothing but keys. The particular cell only can understand by using that unique receptors. So when you receive that receptors or signals from brain, it will take that signals, and that signal will copy over here. It will find what exactly is the signal meaning. It will find it database called DNA. It search that signal, where the signal is there or not. It will find that signal, right? It will find and copy that what is the code of that particular signal. It will copy that and it will come to the ribosomes. That the RNA takes that, and when DNA open, RNA copies. Once RNA copies, the DNA again close, and particular RNA comes and it will go to ribosomes factory. The ribosomes will manufacture that particular signal, right, in the form of chemical. So the first RNA copies that this is the pattern RNA contains, and RNA has this amino acids, right? This like little things. So when RNA has these amino acids combined with these peptides. So the combination of combination of amino acids, we have I think 21 essential amino acids. The combination of these amino acids we create this peptide. When the peptides form in the form of chain, this is called protein. Nothing but the protein is the attitude, or you can call it as a way you think. It creates the protein has a meaning, and the body can understand the protein. It will create some, for example, different proteins in our body. I think I'll show you what are the proteins in our body. Yeah, tubulin, acetylene, mysolin, so different hemoglobin, so different protein we have. So we'll take one example and see. For example, this protein, we'll see what is the use of that. So hemoglobin is the one protein. This is the peptide chain. I told you, right? This is the peptide form in the form of chain. This has one function. This does one function, right? Yeah, hemoglobin. So, what I'm saying is, so the every signal, every thought you are feeling, it records in our DNA, right? Or it will create that protein so that the body will function automatically. That's why Ramtha says your brain is the author, your body is the book, and your DNA is the publisher. I'll repeat again. Ramtha says your brain is the author, your body is the book, and your DNA is the publisher. Yeah. The morning you wake up, whatever you think, the same conditional thinking over and over. I think since 30 days, I think in 30 days or 40 days, your DNA it will create. But for example, I'll show you one video. And in our Ayurveda, they says whatever you eat, that food will become rasa. The rasa become the what you call muscle. The muscle become the fat. The sorry, the rasa become the blood converts into muscle. The muscle become the fat. So and the fat becomes your bone. The bone becomes bone marrow. Then bone marrow becomes or either stem or part of reproduction organ. This is the process. Seven dhatus they call it, right? Similarly, that's why what it is matters and what you think more matter, right? That's where Jesus quoted, "What comes in your mouth doesn't define you, right? What comes out of your mouth, what comes in your mouth doesn't define you. What comes out of your mouth defines you, right? That means what you think create more impact and what you will also create impact, because the thing which you eat, for example, take meat, it has proteins. Every hormones has a protein, because when you kill the animal, it releases that pain hormone, suffering hormone. That suffering hormones contain these proteins. When you cook 100 degrees centigrade, 120 degrees centigrade, that protein doesn't kill. These are micro in nature. That protein will absorb by your intestines and put it in blood, that will go to your body. That's why you feel suddenly that fear in your body without any external effect. right? Or sometimes you feel loneliness, or sometimes you feel angry, frustrated. That because you're eating that type of food. You're taking that type of signals from environment, either through food, either through by seeing, by sensory organs, or by in feeding information in your brain. A number of ways it can happen. But you should understand why it exactly, how it exactly happening, so that you should be more careful, right? So, do you have questions so far?
No, Ajay, it's okay. Please continue. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So ribosome generally in cell it look like that, but it's a synthesized. It's a factory. It has it has labor called enzymes. That enzymes break down the signal and create that RNA structure. Using that RNA copy, they create the proteins. Right? Take this is a, for example, ribosome. Ribosomes we have RNA. The RNA based on the RNA copy, this amino acids will be there. The amino acids cut in peptides. The peptides form these proteins. Okay, that's a way. I think DNA calls nucleotides. I think ACTH, we call it. This is the combination of ACTH. Our genes will be different. The combination of ACTH. This is the amino acids. Amino acid peptides. Peptides form protein. The protein is we call it as a attitude. You can call it as a the way you think. So DNA is a long-term memory and short-term memory is RNA. RNA create this behavioral pattern. Protein. When you when you change the perception, again this entire thing will change. So I will repeat again. For example, take any for example, any thought you're thinking or any signal you're getting, that signal will process by brain. Then brain will send signal to your body, and body has a lot of organs, and specific organ has that called receptors. That key is there. That particular organ will take that signal and copy that RNA. Will take using that RNA will go to DNA, copies that code in the DNA by RNA, and RNA come back and it will go to ribosomes. Ribosomes is a factory where entire proteins will manufacture using enzymes. Your stomach has enzymes, your saliva has enzymes. Enzyme will break down, right? It will break downs and create that small amino acids. The amino acid will combine and forms proteins, right? So that's how you feel anger. That's how you know that knowingness of the sense of pain or sense of anger or sense of laziness, something any behavioral habit or behavioral thing. The reason behind behavioral thing is called hormone. The hormone triggered by the way you think. That's where Ramtha says thought nothing but is a electrical, neurological, chemical effect, right? Because you're taking the thought or the processing that create image, that particular image create particular hormone. So this is the cell membrane. From cell membrane, you'll get the signal, and the signal creates the protein will make based on the behavior. That's the conclusion is perception control the genes. For example, take environment signal and regular signal create protein, right? So the protein will go to a DNA, and in DNA the RNA copies that again it creates the protein. Right? This is the loop. When you change the signal, but you can change the protein, right? So from environment, mind will take the signal, mind will perceive the thing, and you see the behavior pattern genes in our DNA. Perception controls behavior, controls genes, and rewrite the genes. So where do perception comes? Perception comes from your genes, maybe from body signal, or subconscious mind, or self-conscious programming. So in different ways, your perception can comes. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I'll show you one video. I think we can, if you have any questions, you can ask after that. Okay. He's the person, Bruce H. Lipton.
Cultural Creatives, Bruce Lipton back again with the monthly newsletter. You may be asking, monthly newsletter, what happened in the last few months? Where have you been? Well, interesting story. Margaret and I just completed a 4-month round-the-world trip, stopping in such exotic and wonderful places as India, New Zealand, Australia, Chile, and Argentina. At each one of these sites, Margaret and I had the opportunity to meet wonderful people who are changing the world. And I would like to talk to you about these interesting adventures that we had. So during the next few months, we'll tell a story each time about something new that happened that's also affecting the world. And at the same time, I'd like to invite you to take a look at our new web page. We got a new web page, a new design, lots of new membership-only site. Now what's in that? New advances in frontier science that are influencing the way we live on this planet, known as Bruce Lipton. Welcome to the bowels of my laboratory. Today, I got a great story for you. Many times science is just about minutiae details that are totally uninteresting to the general public. But I have an article today that is going to change the world. And it's about a new understanding of what is called microRNAs. Okay, now don't go away yet. It's not that serious. Let me just tell you about it. Here's what it's all about. Once, a long time ago, we thought that genes control life. And then there new research that information that I was pioneering over 45 years ago, my stem cell cultures, have now revealed a new science of genetics called epigenetics, which simply means epi above, genetics, above genetics, information and control above genetics. We find that the environment is translated by the cell, and that environmental information is then used to select and activate the genes. So this is really cool, and this is epigenetics, and yet we find out, well, what is it that actually alters the readout of the genes? Well, that's where the microRNAs come in. Now we find that the microRNAs are actually epigenetic mechanisms. The microRNAs bind to the chromosomes and alter the readout of the genes so that a single gene program can be modified to create thousands of different kinds of proteins from the same blueprint based on this epigenetic modification. For the longest time, we thought if we just eat food, our digestive system breaks down that food, and the cooking will break down living things, or freezing and all that will neutralize all the aspects of the food so that we can use just food as building blocks. However, something new was found, and this is about the microRNA. It turns out that the microRNA molecules in the food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics. So all of a sudden, the concept of what you eat, you become, actually has a scientific foundation to it. It says that we alter our own genetic readout by the food we eat. This study by Valchereau and Choupeau, we're studying the uptake of microRNAs from rice in diets of an Asian diet. And what they found was that the microRNAs were not broken down in the digestive system. They were picked up intact from the food, transported across the wall of the gut, and then they enter the blood of our biology, our body. Well, this becomes really, really relevant in a world where we are now playing with genetically modified foods, because we're going to be picking up epigenetic microRNAs that we have no knowledge about, that have never really been in our diet or on our planet before. What is the consequence of altering our genetics with unknown microRNAs? Well, we're soon going to find out about that. And here's a very important point about the microRNAs. No matter if you cook the food, you freeze the food, the microRNAs are very small molecules and very stable. And these molecules don't break down. So that you always are getting active genetic regulating molecules from the food you eat. Good idea now to think about, what are you eating? And the whole concept really says, for the better world and the better of humanity and the better health for yourself, we must return back to more natural foods. Eating organic foods whenever possible. Eating foods that are not grown in petrochemical environments, because those chemical informations from the petrochemicals alter the genetic readout, which in turn alters the microRNAs. The food you eat has a profound influence on your biology, your genetics, and your health. And now we find that this is not just an idea like, oh, I really think that happens. Now it's a scientific fact. We know that information molecules from food are picked up by our digestive system, and those molecules enter our bloodstream and then subsequently affect our genetics. With that awareness, think before you eat.
So you got it right, for example. So what you eat also matters. And why Patanjali says you eat that sattvic food, right? And vegetarian food. And one more thing, important thing is, for example, even though you feel I am not well, even though you feel I am not capable, that DNA we have, that feeling we have, where is that feeling? That feeling lies in your body or in your cells, in brain cells and your body cells, because your brain cells contain every copy of this body cells. It contains this. So because the neurons defining this body, right? Entire your body is encapsulated into this brain, and your brain defines your body. When you change the perception here, the signal goes to through hormone, and hormone goes to particular cell. Even though you feel unhealthy, automatically when you are focusing on that I'm healthy, so that the signal goes to your cell, and a particular RNA will copy that healthy code from DNA. Even though every day the program is unhealthy, if you do that practice of 40 days of any particular dream or list you have, so that particular signal go to that particular cell every day, and like 40 days for example, so automatically that particular DNA will change, or that expression will change, and you create that healthy hormones in your body. That's how you change your healthy, and you change your attitudes. Yeah, right. So do you have any question? That's why focus is very important. When you focus, automatically the body will change, react. Hello. So any questions? Do you understand, or any?
It's very deep, scientific, and along with the spiritual thing, Ajay. It's really
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
But before asking any questions, I want to go through this DNA and RNA structure. It's
Correct.
really interesting. So
Correct.
I want to go
Similar,
through.
sir. Or Xerox copy, for example, whatever Xerox copy, whatever you give to print, it will copy that. Similarly, RNA will take whatever the signal it comes. So it will copy that, it will search whether this particular signal is there in our DNA or not. If not, it's fine. If there, this will copy that signal, right? If every day we are taking, for example, if morning I wake up, I want to have coffee. I want to have coffee, right? Because my program is there. That's why I'll go to, and I'll go to kitchen. I'll have that coffee, and my brain cells will satisfy. Otherwise, since cells will signal, say, brain, I want coffee. I want coffee. Right? So you will have that because you habituated to that. When you break that, consciously break that, right? By taking fasting, by taking commitment of something like that. So the free will you take, the willpower you take, and when you break the signal, automatically they listen, right? I think 1 2 days you will find that appetite. I want to have that coffee. After a few days, you'll find you can rechange, you can programmably change that, right? That's why cell has its own intelligence. That intelligence can be modified by signals sent by brain. For example, in a constitution, for example, you take, for example, I belongs to Andhra Pradesh. For example, Andhra Pradesh has its own rules, but when PM sends particular instruction or order, the state has to follow. Unless central government declares anything, state follows its own rules. Similarly, cell also it has its own memory. It has its own program. When brain sent, this is a boss, this is a king, body is a kingdom. Ramtha says brain is a king, body is a kingdom. When king says, the entire kingdom has to follow. It follows. If it doesn't give signals, the program automatically we have, it will follow that. Because that copy it has in it itself. When you consciously change that, it will follow that. It will take 40 days. The friction is there, right? So first, rightly it won't change, but in 40 days it changes. That's why 40 days is very, very important. In 40 days, you can change in DNA level. And if you can at least 3 months, minimum 40 days it will take.
So this gives the answer to Umagari question.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
So maybe 40 days DNA will change.
Yeah.
Ah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So like you said, like doing certain things for 40 days will like change the structure, right?
Perception.
I did a meditation for like so say like I waked up at 4:30 a.m. and like I did like meditation for almost like 6 months. So like almost
very
6 to 7 months. Like I constantly meditated like almost like 45 minutes daily.
Okay.
But like that pattern, for some reason, I couldn't able to follow.
Very good. Very good, sir. I'll tell that.
So
what is the
what
reason?
happened to me? So I was very conscious. I waked up at like 4 o'clock. I like brushed up everything, refreshed myself. I did meditation, started meditation by 4:30. I was like till 5:30. I was like doing meditation. Almost like from like so November to like almost like April, something like that. For all the 6 months, I never missed even a single day. I was consciously doing meditation.
Very good.
But like after that, if I think about like how I did it, I couldn't able to do that.
Okay.
So
your question is, your question is, even though it does meditation, some patterns are not broken. Is it right?
Yeah, like you said, like after 40 days, if you follow a pattern, that goes into the DNA and that becomes like the structure, right? Why
correct.
that happened to me?
Okay, DNA. Okay, your meditation not happened to you, even though practicing meditation for 6 months, it didn't happen.
No. The thing is, he continuously practiced. He continuously practiced for 6 months, and now it didn't become part of his routine. That is what he said.
Meditation is not part of it routine.
I mean,
routine.
Say like I want to wake up by 4:30 and want to do a meditation.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. See, you should understand. You should understand that. So, one thing saying that. So, meditation is not. It's an activity. It's state of being, right? It's not a work. It's a state of being. So, I think you understand it further. But what motivates to you for doing meditation? That's more important. That is the reason it will wake you up. That reason will wake you up. Right? That reason should be strong. That motivates to you wake up early morning. Right? That reason should be strong.
Yes, I understand, but like that, like you come up with a point, and like with that, like you develop the consciousness, and with that consciousness, like you're like, okay, let me wake up at 4:30 and like start doing meditation. As per your like thing, like if I like practice certain things for 40 days, it'll go into my DNA, and that will become my pattern. But like with that, like for 6 months, if I think about like getting up at 4:30 and doing the meditation, now I couldn't able to do that. That's my question.
I'll raise that example. See, when some people does meditation with what you call compulsion. because I want something without, if I don't do that, maybe I lose something out of fear, out of anxiety, out of compulsion, right? They does that. Then you don't get results, right? So when you have that enthusiasm, right? When you have that strong willingness of knowing that bigger goal should be, I want to know myself. I want to know myself. I want to realize my unlimited potential. What is this ultimate goal that will wake you until you reach that? For example, take any cricketer. What is the ultimate motto? You want to perform well in, you want to select international ICC board. You want to select by ICC board. That's his motto. That's why he wake up early morning, even though he has Ranji Trophy, he has that. That motivation, that intent is waking up. What is your intention? That defines your DNA, that become your habit. It's not about waking early morning. What intention we have in order to wake up, that intention matters. That intention varies to person to person. My intention is to get freedom. That is ultimate motto. Unless until I get my freedom, I'll wake up. Maybe sometimes I'll drop. That's fine, sir. That's fine. That happens to every human. But remembering your goal, just not only visualization, not only meditation, just focus on that. I'm getting the freedom. That focus, that visualization thing, that's why two different things. Meditation different, but they're interrelated, but process is different, right? So in meditation, you're no thinking, no thoughts. You're achieving that stillness, achieving that thought-free state. In focus, you're completely changing your changing your neurons by saying that I want the freedom, I want to wake up. Just do that. I just every day before sleep, I'm waking up early morning. Just visualize that 5-10 minutes. Does that? Maybe you wake up every day because you're programming your mind. Even though your body is not cooperating, you're consciously waking up in 6 months. Maybe you're not enjoying that waking up. Maybe you are sleeping at late night. You have a lot of work, something. I don't know what exactly happened. Different reasons may be there. So maybe you program mind early before go to bed. Just program saying that I'm waking early morning. I'm just doing meditation. I'm creating my day. Just program that. Maybe you wake up within 2-3 days.
So now
Just
your
go to bed.
why should be stronger.
I should be stronger. And before go to bed, just program saying that I'm wake up early and creating, doing my meditation practice. So just visualize your entire day, what exactly you're going to do next day. Visualize that entire day before go to sleep, bed, so that your mind understand that what exactly you want. Right? You should be strong. You should be having that what you call pure. Right? So what you call 100% you should believe in that. 100% you should do that visualization, right? So just before go to bed, just visualize what exactly you want to do next day. Similarly, do that for a day so that definitely you will change. You work up every day.
Now I am doing it.
Oh, very good.
Now I am doing it. Now I can able to do it.
Oh,
But
good.
now I am
And
doing
then,
it. Now I'm doing 1 hour, evening 1 hour, like now I'm doing it. But that's I was doing, somehow I couldn't able to continue it.
yeah,
I
correct,
stopped.
correct,
Now I'm
correct.
like, as like with the wisdoms and everything, like now I'm
Yeah,
like doing that. Now
yeah.
I can able to do that.
That's the practice. See how much, but sir, I'll tell you, the practice, how much time you should do is it should become the part of subconscious. Even though conscious think of that, automatically should come. Okay, automatically before you go to sleep, bed, you should have that practice. Automatically the practice should come. That much you should do. That much practice you should do. For example, starting we do the car like this. After a few days, we see outside that automatically the hand will does that control of steering, right? So that's the practice we did. Similarly, without thinking of that, before you go to bed, automatically you should sit for a few minutes and you visualize that day. That's how it should happen. That I think that day comes. I think no worry. I think no one can stop you because you're part of subconscious mind. Okay, no one can stop you. Even though in previous time, even though you did 6 months, is not your part of subconscious. It's still that in part of your conscious brain. That's why you should have to consciously do that. It didn't become the part of subconscious mind. Maybe you didn't believe, maybe I don't know, reason is not strong. So maybe if you find out the reason and find the strong reason, I think it will be part of your subconscious.
Now I'm doing it regularly.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. That's why common thought is the programming for subconscious mind. The thing which you do for commonly, it will become part of your subconscious mind. but the believeness should become. Only belief will transfer that into subconscious. Otherwise, no. Because when you practice, you become habit. Habit becomes turned to your belief. That's why we do practice. The more you practice, your beliefness will increase. See, practice leads to acceptance. Acceptance leads to belief. The belief leads to create a reality. That's the structure. That's what practice very important. Practice with intention, the feeling, the intent. That intent is very important. What intent you have, what feeling you have while practicing. That feeling will sit in our subconscious.
Yeah, I'm like trying to visualize what was the mistakes I was doing. Now I'm trying to correct those things and like what
Yeah,
my mind.
just focus on what you want to do. Just understand what. Okay, I did this. But okay, change that and focus on what you want. That's it. Focus on what you want. Don't feel ever guilty about it. Guiltiness not there. Just is a matter of practicing. Child doesn't feel guilty when you fall down while walking, right? We teach them. Oh no, right? Then he feels shy. Otherwise, he doesn't have shy. So already we had that feeling, right? So that's why I tell, don't ever feel guilty.
No, I'm not guilty. Like I'm just like
That's
asking.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Generally, I'm telling that some people will feel that's why I quoted that. But that's fine. If you don't feel guilty, that's fine. Very good. So practice that. Practice. You'll make it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So, any more questions from anyone?
So that's why that how you start your day, that matters a lot. That defines entire your day. That signal defines entire your day. It's a loop.
Okay.
That's why some people used to start their way with prayer. That's fine. Anything you can.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Ajay, for the knowledge today. And I think this video should be shared immediately so that who has doubts can re-watch the video again. Thank you everyone for joining tonight, and tomorrow we'll see Ajay again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you, Ajay.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Thank you all.
Good
Thank
night.
you all.
Thank you.
Cool.
Nice.
Thanks for appreciation. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Sounds
Sri
good.
Devi.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Renukaji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.